What's up guys, I'm Josh Mosiman. Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 117, presented to you guys by O'Neill Racing. Thank you for tuning in to this video. We're going to talk about the Detroit Supercross, we're going to preview the upcoming Seattle Supercross, and we got lots of other footage from the MXA Wrecking Crew this past week we have to share. Starting things off with the Detroit Supercross in that 450 class. Wow, what a time to be a Supercross fan and to be a Supercross journalist. I've said it in many videos this season, but it is just so easy to talk about fun stuff because the races have been so exciting. Aaron Plessinger, what can I say that hasn't already been said? He rode flawlessly through almost the entire main event, coming up 2 corners short of the white flag before having his big crash. Hopefully he's okay. He did tuck and roll, but it almost looked like he hurt himself more by tucking his head into the ground on the landing of that tabletop. But he said in his post-race interview that he'll be back for Seattle, but he also said that he hit his head pretty hard. So hopefully he's back in full condition, full preparation for this weekend, and hopefully he's all okay from that crash. Wow, what a main event though. I think what we talked about in last week's video and what was talked about so many times on the broadcast, the fact that Ken Roczen was able to win the Indianapolis Supercross, I think that sparked a lot of fire in guys like Aaron Plessinger. They gave him a little more confidence when he was running up front, knowing that he could take it all the way. The difference was though that Aaron ran away from the pack with guys like Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb directly behind him at the beginning of the main event. So very impressive from Aaron Plessinger. Chase Sexton, awesome to see him. He had a huge podium celebration after the race, but I think it's deserving after the struggles that he's had so far this year. Unfortunately, the main event win didn't go as far as it could have for him in the points because he was docked 7 points for doubling on the red cross flag in the middle of the race after he passed Cooper Webb. He explained in the post-race press conference, Dean Wilson was already back on his bike. The red cross flag was on the double before the big double, but the kicker of the point was that the red lights were on that big double, and he hit the jump even with the red lights on. He rolled the jump before, so there was no I already saw it, or there's no I didn't see it until the last second. He made the decision to double, and unfortunately it was the wrong decision, docking him a lot of points in the championship. We also have to talk about the Hill brothers, Justin and Josh Hill. Man, such an impressive ride for both of these guys. They got 0 TV time this past weekend. Hopefully they get more TV time in Seattle. It's their home race in the Pacific Northwest this upcoming weekend. But Justin Hill come back after not racing for 2 years. He got 7th place in the main event, his best race of the season. And Josh Hill, his brother, 10th place. 2 top 10s for 2 brothers on teammates on the Team Tedder KTM team. So very impressive for those guys. The last time that happened was 1974 with Jim and Ron Pomeroy. So basically the beginning of Supercross in the United States was last time this happened. So very cool stuff. The next time it'll happen will have to be Jet and Hunter Lawrence, and we'll have to wait probably 2 or 3 years for that. Now the 250 class from Detroit, now that was quite a bit less exciting except for the Hayden Deegan incident in the heat race where Hayden and his teammate Jordan Smith got into it. From my perspective, heat race doesn't count for anything, doesn't count for points. You don't really get paid unless you're winning the heat race. For Hayden to block his teammate once is okay, but then to play with him 2 more times, it kind of just looked distasteful for me. Something that you don't really need to get into. Jordan Smith is known for being a hard racer. He's always been a hard racer. He's always been wide open, and he's always had some pretty big crashes, but he's so tough that he keeps going, and we saw that at Detroit. Unfortunately, it kind of bit him because you could see he was so mad from that incident with his teammate that he let it snowball into the rest of his heat race and resulted in 2 big crashes, and then another crash in the LCQ that kept him out of the main event. So you can't really blame Hayden Deegan for knocking his teammate out of the points and knocking him out of the main event, but it still was definitely a unique thing and something that was exciting and controversial, which as a fan and as a journalist is fun to watch. As for the 250 main event winner, Hunter Lawrence, that was a very impressive race. Smooth, consistent, and just controlled the race from start to finish. He is now tied with his brother on main event starts, top 5 finishes, and 10 main event wins. Very impressive stuff from the Lawrence family, and congrats to Hunter Lawrence. Jet Lawrence still has a championship over his brother in Supercross, but we can see obviously Hunter Lawrence is on his way to that as well. So now let's preview the upcoming Seattle Supercross. It is round 11 of the 2023 season. It's coming up this weekend. I will be there in the shoes, in the flesh, with MXA's Trevor Nelson behind the camera, so we're going to be having some fun there this weekend. weekend. The 250 East Coast riders, Hunter Lawrence, Hayden Deegan, Nate Thrasher, Max Anstey, and the rest, they have a 4-week break now until the Atlanta Supercross comes up, and we'll have 2 races in between there with the 250 West Coast riders with Jet Lawrence, RJ Hampshire, and Cameron McAdoo back on the track. This weekend is Seattle Supercross. They'll take a weekend off after that, and then they'll pick back up at the Glendale, Arizona Supercross April 8th, the Saturday before Easter. I'll be out at Glen Helen that weekend though for the 2-stroke national, so if you're local, be sure to come out to Glen Helen for that 2-stroke national. It's going to be a lot of fun Saturday race. But Supercross, back to Seattle. Seattle is known for being muddy, and it's known for getting lots of rain in the Pacific Northwest. It's an open stadium in downtown Seattle, and it was actually the stadium where I qualified for my first main event. But Seattle, even when it's not muddy, it also gets pretty rutted and soft. We have highlights from last year's race where Eli Tomac took the win, with Jason Anderson finishing second and Marvin Muscan finishing third. Although it wasn't muddy last year, you could still see on these video clips the track was pretty technical, pretty soft, and pretty rutted, and those ruts are certainly what makes it a challenge out there on the track. Coming into this weekend, we look at the track map. The track is not a super long whoop section into a Supercross triple. The start is super long, going all the way across the whole stadium. It's actually the same exact start they had last year, where they had a start straightaway all the way down the middle of the track, a long sweeping left-hand corner into a long rhythm section for the first turn and the first rhythm section. So similar setup, but then after that, the layout changes quite a bit. One thing I think is cool is we have a sharp corner. We zigzag across the start and then go into a sand section for a little 90-degree corner there, maybe a little more than 90, maybe like a 110-degree corner. But sand section back for Seattle this weekend, so that will be interesting. In the 250 class, Jet Lawrence has a 20-point lead on RJ Hampshire, and he has a 21-point lead on Cameron McAdoo in the points. If you think back to the last time these guys raced, it was Oakland Supercross. Jet Lawrence was easily able to take the win, but RJ and Cameron were both pretty beat up at that race, and they were both lingering and managing injuries that they got from the Anaheim 2 Supercross 2 weeks prior. So now RJ Hampshire, he's a lot healthier. He's definitely got more confidence after racing the Daytona Supercross and winning his 450 heat race in his 450 debut a couple weeks ago. Cameron McAdoo, we've seen him out at the tracks riding motocross lately, testing and preparing for the outdoors. He's obviously healing up and feeling a lot better coming into Seattle, so will be interesting. Also, we'll have Carson Mumford filling in on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team alongside McAdoo. He'll be making his debut on that team this weekend as well. Looking at the weather for this upcoming Seattle Supercross, right now, as of Tuesday at the recording of this video, it looks like rain, a high chance of rain on Thursday and Friday, but that's not too bad because it does look sunny and look like good weather on Saturday in Seattle. So hopefully the weather stays like that and the rain doesn't float over into Saturday. If it rains on Thursday and Friday, the Dirtworks crew, they'll already up there working on the track, I'm sure, and they'll be able to cover it and keep it nice and dry for the race on Saturday. Next up, we have lots of footage from the rest of the MXA Wrecking crew. Everybody's busy. Dennis Stapleton, he's in Japan right now. Brian Medeiros raced this past weekend. Josh Fout raced this past weekend. I raced this past weekend, and we were all racing in different locations. So lots of footage here to share. We probably can't even share all of it. But first, we got some clips from our recent videos we posted on our channel. If you haven't seen them yet, we tested the 2023 Gas 250 2-stroke, and we have that video on our YouTube channel. We also tested the 23.5 Husqvarna FC450 Rockstar Edition. That video is on our channel as well. That bike saw a few minor updates, so you have to check out those videos to see what's going on. I also got some clips here from Glen Helen this past weekend. I got to race the Gas MC150 built by Pro Circuit. The thing is a rocket ship. We're getting it ready for the 2-stroke national coming up in just 3 weeks. Also raced our Yamaha 450 again. Bone stock suspension. The only thing we have on it is ODI handlebars and grips. We got some Pirelli tires on there as well. Otherwise, it's bone stock. I got the win in the 450 class on that bike as well.
What's up, guys? Josh Fout here, hitting the punch card again for MXA. We're out here in Johnson Valley, Bessemer Mine Road for the District 37 Sprint Enduro. Super fortunate, rained all morning. Today's gonna be awesome. We got the 2023 FE 450 Heritage Edition. Amazing looking bike. Out here with some friends, the Smiths, Tyler, Natalie, little smiles. Do some racing.
All right, so walking into Pro Circuit, we see Ken Roczen's KX450 here, and everybody's been looking at this bike for weeks, months now, since we thought that Ken was going to ride it, and now we found Giuseppe, the owner of this new bike. How long have you owned the bike?
About, which is a month and a half, yeah. A month and a half.
And then how many laps have you put on it?
0.
0 laps.
It's in my living room.
That is cool. That is cool. So what's your plan with the bike? Because everybody wants to know. This bike was built by Pro Circuit for Ken Roczen. It's ready to go and ready for Ken Roczen to go testing. Yes. And now it's living in your living room.
Yeah,
is it
right.
Like a show bike or what?
Show bike.
Okay.
And we will take for a lap or two, you know, just to try it.
Yeah.
But then we'll go back to the living room.
Nice. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, pretty cool stuff. And then what bike do you normally ride?
KTM, the factory edition 22.5.
Okay, cool.
That is the regular bike.
Cool. And then what about this Honda over here?
It will be the next project.
Nice.
The next riding bike. So
I like it.
You will match the 1994 Megrat.
That's cool.
So,
all right, good stuff. Well, we now know the home of this bike. Was there 1 or 2 bikes that were sold? Was it just there was 2? So you got one of them. Is the other one sold already?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
His friend is
okay.
Yeah, you might go in Italy in that one.
Nice. So. 2 Italians with 1 German rider's bike.
That's right.
It's a long story. I met him, let's say, last time at Pala, the GP. So this guy speaks 5 languages and is a doctor, is a vet, is an architect.
Wow.
Just to give you an idea, who is this crazy guy?
Who's the guy who owns Ken Roczen's bike?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. There he is. We're at Glen Helen. It's a Friday and not a public day. Nobody else is out here, but the Nitro RX crew is out here. And look who I run into, Street Bike Tommy. You're like a hero to me.
I appreciate you.
I grew up watching Nitro Circus videos, all of the Nitro Circus DVDs, and you're obviously making everybody laugh.
Yeah.
Sending it on the street bike, sending it on everything.
We're having a good time out here. I got to make, what do you say, like an 18th of a lap?
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, barely.
Like 2 corners.
Yeah, something like that.
What's you riding a pit bike?
Yeah, and it was fun. I got acquainted with the ground pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm hanging it up. You know, I had my fun.
Yeah.
We're good.
So what's your job right now with Nitro Rally Crew?
So you're gonna see me on Nitro Rally Cross on sideline color commentary. I really don't even like talk about racing very much, which is kind of funny. I just kind of go around and have fun, like messing with the drivers, the fans. You'll see me shotgunning beers on the sidelines.
Nice.
Stuff like that. You know, I just have a really good time with everybody and keep everybody laughing.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, did not expect to see Street Bike Tommy today at the track. I got to help out with. So was that NBC?
Yeah. So that's Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
that's where people will be watching the race.
Oh yeah, globally. Watching
the race on Peacock.
Yeah.
For us, we're riding outdoor track. The rallycross track is a few hundred feet away.
Yeah.
We'll be racing Saturday, Sunday.
Today. And today, Saturday, Sunday, it's a triple header.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of racing out there this weekend. And come out, check it out, and you're going to be on the opener with me.
Dude,
so
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Tune in.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to This Week in MXA, episode number 117. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about what we got going on. We hope to see you in the next video.